Hi, this is Jaya. In this video, we shall see the summary of The Motorcycle Diaries, A Journey Around South America by Ernesto Sequeira. Before going into the video, please like the video, share it with your friends, and if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe and support. In this, we find a young Argentinian medical student. He is doing his medical, he is from Argentina, and from Argentina, he wants to take a trip. And while he is taking the trip, he is recording all what is happening in a diary, and that is why it is called motorcycle diary, because he takes a trip in a motorcycle. And this young medical student who wrote this motorcycle diaries is Ernesto Sequeira de la Serna. And Sequeira is known as the leader of the Cuban Revolution. He is a guerrilla strategist. He is a Cuban government official and a fomenter of revolution in Congo and Bolivia. Now, this journey only made the young Ernest Guerra into the Sheikh. And here he travels throughout Latin America along with another friend, Alberto Granado. And in his journey, he meets workers, he meets a seriously ill, and it is such a hardship, but his political and social ideas develop according to the places which he sees and observes the people condition. Now, when the book begins, we find that Guerra is restless, he does not have any work, and he is a medical student, so he wants to take a break from the medical school. And his friend Alberto Granado is a 29-year-old biochemist, and he is also planning for a change of scene. He needs a job, and he thinks that if he goes to Venezuela, he will get a very good job. And Granado also has a motorcycle, but it is a very old motorcycle, but he loves it. It is La Pedrazo 2. And both of them start dreaming about going on a trip in this motorcycle and the road and all throughout North America and all that. And what actually happens, like a small chit chat, becomes a reality. So they start planning for the trip and they gather all the necessary documents. And with the bike already there, they also get the Chilean visas. And now the two friends set off. And while they're traveling through Argentina, their friends, family, and the acquaintances, they give them food, they give them lodging. And on the road also, they see so many things like motorcycle accidents. Sometimes they get feast of meat and wine and all that. And Guerra's only problem is he has a girlfriend, Chichina. And now leaving her and going for such a long trip, he does not know whether she'll agree or not. So he and Granado go and visit her. And just as they're crossing the border into Chile, Guerra receives a letter from his girlfriend Chichena saying that she is ending their relationship. Now he is free, he is not bound with any obligation, and so he continues the journey and he enters all what he sees on the way, and sometimes he even writes some poetic reveries. And in Chile, Guerra and Granado, they receive very good hospitality from the people there, and they give them wine and barbecue and they get into mischief. And a local newspaper also writes an article calling them the experts on leprosy. So many people are able to recognize them because they have seen them in the newspaper and they also help them. And there they first face the real difficulty because they La Pedrazo, the bike in which they rode, now becomes totally useless because it wrecks beyond repair. You cannot even repair it. So they had to say goodbye to the motorcycle and they completely rely on people to give them lift, and the people are really good, and so they continue their journey and they start seeing the harsh realities of the society. They see the exploited miners who are working in dangerous and often fatal conditions. That is, many of them keep dying in the mines, and the foreign, particularly the American owned mines, pay them very less salary, and they are also repressed by members of the outlawed political parties. And the indigenous people who are now downtrodden actually work as second class citizens in their own lands. And the poor people, they cannot even care for the seriously ill who are in their family. Now Guerra sees all this and now he starts taking note of all this more seriously, and he also experiences cold and hunger. So from his own experience itself, he can understand the people's condition also there. Now Guerra and Granado, they cross into Peru, and they come to face with the glory of the Quichua warriors and the Inca civilization, and they see the magnificent Machu Picchu among the ruins, and which is still a landmark. And in STQ, they see a vision of the past. This valley is not changed by time, and the infrastructure built by the Inca is still there, and people are living there, but they are living in a very, very bad condition because they are in total contrast to the glorious past which they had, the ancestors had. They are all dejected, they are downtrodden, they are living in poverty, misery, and shame. And the indigenous workers whom Guevara meets appear as though they are all defeated people. But Guevara draws inspiration from them because they were a few educated individuals among them who are planning for better future for their people. And in Peru, Guevara and Granada, they start the medical part of their journey in earnest, and they go and visit the leper colony near Lima. And seeing them all, they are all totally isolated and in poverty. That is the condition in which the patients are living. But the patients are so grateful towards them because this is the first time they are being treated like normal human beings by these two people. And at the same time, Guevara also gets an asthma attack. And at San Pablo, which is a leper colony, Guevara again observes that the facilities and the medical supplies is very poor, and the patients are living in isolation there because they have leprosy. But he celebrates his birthday party there in United Latin America. From there, Guevara and Granado, they sail for Colombia on a raft. After many mishaps and overshooting, they arrive in Bogota, and they stay there only for a short time. Next, they go to Venezuela. Here also, Guevara gets another asthma attack, and when he resumes, when he recovers from this attack, Granado has to leave him and go because he is very sure that he will get a job in Caracas. And Guevara, who is pleased to see, that is, he is going to return to his studies, but he knows that he has to go to the medical college, but now he is not in a hurry, so he wanders around Caracas on his own. He misses Granado, but he looks at the poor people, their condition, the misery which they are undergoing and all that. And in the final chapter of the book, it is a kind of a coda. Here he meets an old man who told him that he is a member of a society that is being destroyed by the coming revolution. And he says that he will die while taking part in the violent struggle. And Guerra reflects on the man's predictions and says that he knows that when society is divided into two opposing groups, he will be on the side of the people. And he is committed to the revolution and is happy to make himself a martyr. That is, he is willing to give his life for it to bring justice to the people. Thus, a very carefree young student who starts his journey travels around, and in the final situation he becomes a revolutionary. And this is what we find in this book. If you have anything more to add on to what I've said, please write it in the comment box. It will be useful to others. Thank you.